My name is Peter Obi. As you can see, we are here. These are friends of Mr. Ngene, who was on here. Go ahead. I am Kachiku Benedict. We are here to register our peaceful protest to tell the world what has been happening in Enugu State for the past 1 year. Since the 28th of July 2024, Honorable Peter Ngene, the man that won the House of Assembly seat for Enugu South Urban, have been unjustly incarcerated. Right? Charges that were put on him were baseless. Judicial process were not followed, and in less than 2 weeks, judgment was dispensed. Yes. And the man has been in detention since then till now. Efforts to get this into the Harcourt that have proved abortive because somehow judges are accusing themselves from the case day and night. The Chief Justice have refused to assign the case to a new judge. So ever since then till now, this man, Honorable Peter Ngene, had been in detention for no just cause. All because he won an election. Election that he won on the free ground where the people of Enugu South Urban gave him their mandate freely. Somehow he has reaffirmed that decision of that mandate of people on Saturday, on the 16th of August. Where the judge will say he's not going to handle the matter. Can you tell us specifically those people who rescued the judge, Honorable Justice Enugu, Honorable Justice Aja? These two fellows have recused themselves systematically from the case. In fact, Justice Aja, I remember very well, I think on the 12th or 11th of March, called for judgment. On the day of judgment, he then said he's recusing himself from the case. And ever since then till now, the case has not been assigned to any judge. That means this man has been languishing in jail for nothing. This is the highest point of injustice meted to anybody. We're crying, oh, Southeast have been marginalized all the while, but inside the Southeast, we keep marginalizing ourselves.
A wave of outrage has swept through Enugu State as residents took to the streets demanding the release of Ngene, the Labour Party candidate, recently declared winner of the Enugu South Urban rerun election by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). Ngene's victory, hailed as a triumph of democratic will, stands in stark contrast to his continued incarceration, prompting cries of injustice and political persecution. In the original March 18, 2023 election, Ngene was declared the winner by INEC, only for a tribunal to nullify that result and order a rerun in 8 problematic polling units. Multiple attempts at rerun voting, first in February 2024, followed by another in June, collapsed under the weight of violence, logistical failures, and allegations of manipulation. In July 2024, Magistrate Emmanuel Dominico sentenced Ngene to a 7-year jail term for his involvement in a community dispute tied to 15 million naira in communal funds. Critics blasted the rushed process, arguing Ngene was denied due process, had motions dismissed without hearing, and that the case was revived only after his political rise threatened the status quo. Despite serving the time at the Enugu Correctional Center, Ngene emerged the winner of the rerun election held on August 16, 2025, defeating PDP challenger Sam Ngene by a margin of over 3,000 votes. INEC publicly reaffirmed its commitment to upholding the people's choice and confirmed that certificates of return would be issued in Abuja by August 21 and 22nd. Now, the Nigerian Bar Association conference underway in the coast today. The injustice has become an even more potent symbol. Protesters led by local activists and civil society groups have branded Ngene a prisoner of conscience, decrying his detention as politically motivated in clear violation of democratic principles. At the heart of the legal quagmire lies a dispute from 2007 involving Harcourt Town Union, where Ngene served as a secretary and legal advisor. When community funds were lodged into his firm's account during leadership's dispute, allegations began only for the case to remain dormant for years. But after his electoral ascent in 2023, the state attorney general reportedly intervened to escalate the long-dormant case. The magistrates pushed for a rapid conviction despite community calls for alternative dispute resolution (ADR), raising alarm among legal observers who saw the trial as deeply flawed and politically charged. Legal teams have appealed the judgment and petitioned the National Judicial Council (NJC) for redress, pointing to the potential abuse of judicial power and lack of fair hearing. Ngene's win, even while imprisoned, underscores a fierce assertion of the electorate's will. But without his release, how will he serve his constituency? Against the backdrop of the NBA gathering, a celebration of law and rights, the protests gain symbolic weight, positioning Ngene's cause as emblematic of broader struggles for justice and rule of law in Nigeria. His wife, Mrs. Bright Ngene, has been speaking to the press regarding her ordeal and how she feels about her husband's victory and his continued incarceration.
I pray that the Lord will bless them. First of all, I want to thank the Honorable Minister of Science, of Innovation, Science and Technology in the person of Chief Uche Nnaji. I want to thank Senator Kelvin Chukwu, Honorable Chima Atu, Honorable Professor Paul Nnamchi, and our constituents for standing solidly behind us all this while. I want to thank them most especially on what happened on Saturday. They stood their ground and made sure that things were done right and properly. I want to thank them and pray that the Lord Almighty will bless them. Honestly, it has not been easy for me, particularly as the wife, taking care of the children alone, putting bills, and all of that. Honestly, it has not been easy for us as a family at large, but I thank God for being on our side. He has been so faithful to us. He has been sustaining us. Okay, some time ago, because before that time, before a community was constituted, the Akuke people were having problem concerning sand revenue collection. So, in order to handle the situation, a committee was constituted, and Bright Emeka Ngene was made the secretary of that committee. So the committee they were carrying out their duties, you know. They were meant to be collecting money. Money is, as in, they were meant to be collecting money, revenue money, into the central account, which will be used for the welfare of Akuke and Akuko One community, because Akuke is made of Akuke and Akuko One community. So everything was moving on smoothly until at a time when somebody went and got a court injunction stopping the committee members, because the person wanted them to see him as the leader of the community, and they stood their ground. The committee members stood their ground. Say, this is a committee that has been set up to look into the affairs of Akuke, so that there will be peace. But this very individual went to court and got an injunction stopping them from using the money that before that time has been coming, because when they collect the revenue, they will lodge it into the central account. So the person went to the court and brought an injunction stopping the committee from making use of the money. So business must go on. You can't just hold everybody captive. So at the end of the day, the committee members came together and said, what are we going to do at this point? Because we can't just leave our community like that. We have to, daily activity, we have to carry out our duties, and it requires money. So at the end of the day, they decided that Bright, based on trust, that Bright will be the person to hold this money for them, so that whenever they want to make use of it, with regards to, you know, community expenses, this is the only person that we can give it. At the end of the day, he will account for it. So that was how they asked Bright to submit his account number. He submitted his chamber's account, and money was coming into that account, and the committee members were using the money to run the activities of the community. So at the expiration of that committee's tenure, they made an account at the village square in Akuke, presented the account to the whole community, telling them that their tenure has come to an end. This is how all the money that came into Bright's account was spent by the community members. So after that, the Igwes and their cohorts, I will say, went and took the matter to court.
When did they take this matter to court?
Just will I say some few months after the expiration of the committee tenure. They went to, first of all, to police. Before you know it, they charged the matter to court. But at a particular point in time, the case stopped. Nobody talked about it again. But all of a sudden, immediately Bright won election, the matter resurrected again. We started going to court. In fact, the last magistrate before that sat on the matter looked at this issue and said, this is community issue. You people should go to multi-doc and sort it out. There is nothing here. You are brothers, there is nothing here. It's just a kind of community issue. Go there and sort it out. So we were still planning to go to multi-door court. All of a sudden, we received a letter that the Attorney General of Enugu State has taken up the matter. My husband, they gave him and summoned him in court before Magistrate Idiom. My husband went there. They started the matter. In fact, the matter was coming almost in two days. Coming up in two days. So at the end of the day, even the town union, the two town union of Akuku and Okuku 1, they were in court telling the magistrate, these people did not do anything. When we came to power, they handed over the report to us. And mind you, this is the only committee that finished their tenure and left millions
in the account,
in the central account. When I mean, they were the only committee that
left some money,
millions of money in the account, and that money is still there till date. So immediately Owu took up the matter, and the town union president, the two town union president appeared before him and said, leave these people. He continued. Okay,
the people that brought the case said the case should end.
The people that brought the case weren't the people that were in power that time, because as at that time they have their town union. At the expiration of those town union that worked with you with them, they elected the new person. Yes, they elected two town union presidents, one representing Akuke, another president. Because when you take off office now, all
the matters, it's the office that takes matter to court, not the individual. Okay, I understand. We will explore the legality of the matter when we are talking with a barrister. But what we want to get is, how did we jump from the community this to the point of going to prison?
Ordinarily, this matter is a community matter. It's a community matter. I don't see why the Attorney General of Enugu State should involve himself in a community matter. The issue we are talking about is the Akuke issue. He's not from Akuke. So why did he come and hijack the case? Because the two town union president said these people did not do anything. Stop the case.
Okay,
and they continue.
Let's understand. Okay, since the magistrate made the judgment, has there been appeals?
Of course.
What is stalling the appeal?
First, the matter was called off before Justice Ezubu. That was in August last year, when they were on vacation. The day we came, Justice Ezubu told us that he's not the one that's supposed to handle this case, that the judge that's supposed to handle this case is on vacation. so that he's going to give him the file when he resumes work in September. Then in September, we appeared before Justice Aja, and Justice Aja sat on this matter for 3 months. At the expiration of 3 months, he said that he's going to give his judgment on the 11th of March. That day we came. When we came, all of a sudden, because we are so expectant that he's going to do the needful, having been saying that there is nothing here, there is no serious issue here, there is a fact, he will grant bail, he will do this. So we were so hopeful. Only to our disappointment, when we came, he said he's rescuing himself from this matter.
Okay, so the judge recused himself from the matter.
Yes, and told us that he's going to take the file back to the CJ.
The Chief Justice of the state.
Of the state, that he's going to return for reassignment.
And has the case been reassigned till now?
Since 11th of March this year, up to date, nothing has been done. In fact, our son has written to CJ 2 times. He has not replied. Release this, assign this, reassign it. They brought it to you for you to reassign it. Why are you keeping the file? Up to date, so the matter has not been reassigned to any court.
The Chief Justice of Enugu State has not reassigned this particular matter since the 11th of March 2025?
Yes.
Okay.